What's going on today, Internet? Selfish here with Retrospect. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little excited about today. We are going to take a look at the GameMT JellyMiniE5, or they're calling it the E5 for some reason, but it is the JellyMiniE5, which is a very China name for this. I want to see what this thing's all about. It's very intriguing. Let's take a look. Alright, taking a quick look at the outside of the box. It's pretty much what you would think that it would be on here. You have the GameMT logo. It does talk to you about the charging, things like that, like they all do. Oddly enough, their address is Germany, which I didn't know, but it is made in China, so there's that. Yeah, so I do have a 32 gig model, and I did get purple to match the purple E6 Plus that I have. I really just want to see what this thing looks like. I have a feeling that this D-pad is going to be stupid, and I want it to be good, but I'm already making fun of it, and so I'm hoping that I'll be happy to be disappointed in the fact that it's good, if that makes sense. Alright, so it is, yep, again, those colors right there. Get out of there. There we go. Okay, so they didn't take the time to punch the holes out, but that's okay. They got one of them, two of them. Alright, so the device is in there. Let's see what else comes in here. Looks like we do have a screen cover, which I will throw on here real quick. Nice that they sent us a screen cover for this. And we do have an origami accordion. If you're between 6.0 and 14 years old, you do need to be accompanied by an adult to use this product. Well, I could tell my kids that way they can't play with it. Alright, let's get this out of here. See what it's all about. There's our charger. It is going to be a Type-C charger. Oh, look at that. It's got a matching purple on the inside here. Inside of the A side of the charger is going to be matching purple to the handheld itself. It is kind of interesting that they've been starting to change up USB colors. I get a lot of orange ones lately, but I wonder if you get the orange and white one of this if it comes with orange. Look at that. It's like a perfect match. Sweet. Wow. That thing is, that's something. I feel like this should be a space bar right there. Okay, so you do have, yep, okay. Well, I'm going to throw the screen cover on this real quick, and then we will go through the I.O. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, honey. Oh, no. We'll go through the I.O. real quick. Alright, so we are going to do a quick I.O. check on this thing, double check, see what it all looks like, see kind of where things are at, and then we will move on to do some specs and a little bit of gameplay like we normally do. So let's take a look. We'll start at the top like we always do. Normally there are shoulder buttons here, but they're on the back, so we'll get to those. We do have a micro SD hole. This one did come with a 32 gig micro SD card. We have a HDMI hole, we have a headphone hole, we have a charging hole, which is USB-C, and we do have an OTG hole. I don't believe that this has Wi-Fi, so that would make sense why we have an OTG hole on here. Okay, next we move to the back. We do have our speakers. We do have two 1-watt speakers, I do believe. Don't quote me on that. I can't find it anywhere, but I'm pretty sure that that's what this is. We also have our left and right R1, L1, R2, L2 buttons here, and what I think should be a space bar. And this does come courtesy with a kickstand, which is kind of cool. It seems a little flimsy. It's kind of scary, actually, flimsy. It reminds me of like one of those tongue depressor things that they put on you at the doctor's office. Like that wood one, but this is plastic, but it feels pretty much the same. We're going to go over here to the left side. We have just some ventilation over here. So quick update while I'm editing here, because I totally forgot about this, and yes, it does actually list this in their literature. It does have a charge indicator, and it's kind of like what you get in the GTK Pixel, where it's right here on the side, it's in the vent, and it actually tells you where your charge level's at, and it shows it charging. And it's really kind of cool. Let's see if I can get it on camera here for you. So it does actually do that, and I totally forgot that that was on there. Oddly enough, though, the other side has the same vent. They could have put it on both sides. It would look even cooler, in my opinion. But that would have been a lot of light, too, if you have it off. Anyways, I found the charging light that I totally forgot about. And then on the right-hand side, we have the same. I'm going to guess that speaker noise would also come out of those. But then we also, over here, do have our power, volume, up and down buttons. All right, and those are a little clicky, not too bad. Those actually feel pretty good. On the front here, oh, sorry, the bottom. I almost forgot the bottom. There's nothing on the bottom, which makes it, we have to dock this one upside down, which will be fine. On the front here, we do have a T and a K. Oh, that one, oh, no, it does push in. It's just the lip there is so much that you can hit the lip before hitting that. We do have an M, which I'm guessing is our menu button. We do have our face buttons, which don't, at first I was thinking it was traveling below the shell, but that's because the shell is actually concaved right there, but they actually have a decent travel to them. They're not too bad. Got a little bit of bounce to them. They're not real loud or anything like that. Not too bad. And we do have our joystick. This seems to be a Switch style joystick, but it does not click. There is no L3 on that, which I mean, seriously, they're the same price these days to get them with L3, so I don't know why anybody wouldn't, because that's going to limit some of our software for it. Now, I'm a little curious to this. So you saw I pulled the plastic off, and this clear piece in the middle came off, but now that I put it in, it doesn't come off, so apparently it's not supposed to. I haven't touched this yet. I haven't pushed on it yet. This is what intrigued me about this device to begin with, is this insane D-pad thing that we got going on here. So I'm just kind of interested to see what's going on. So, you know what? It's pretty soft. I don't think I want to be pushing on a piece of plastic like that. I'm going to guess it's a 4-way and not an 8-way, obviously. If it's accurate, it might not be too bad. I would prefer to be able to feel, and I don't know. I'll figure out how to get that off if I get into heavy gaming on this. This really does what it's promised. We might be pulling that off so we can feel the D-pad, but for now, I mean, it is a unique feature. Something I will never get used to, but I think I can work through, so not a big deal there. And then we do have this beautiful 5-inch 16:9 720 display that GameMT has put on here, and I believe, I'm almost 100%, I'm 99.9% positive, they're using the same display on all their handhelds right now. So they have this display, and that's why we're getting a handheld like this with the 5-inch display. When the M18 came out, we thought that this was a big screen, but as you can see here, she's a little bigger than the old M18 screen, so weight-wise, it's not really terrible. It feels like it probably weighs about the same, if not maybe a little less than that. We're going to weigh these real quick. I'm going to weigh it against the RGB20 SX here and just see, give everybody kind of an idea of how that feels. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. We'll do the RGB20 SX here first, and our weight on this one here comes in at 221 grams. On our new MT JellyMiniE5, oh, 263. Wow, really? So it is significantly more even than the RGB20 SX. So that kind of gives you a feel, though. If you have an SX, you'll get an idea. We can probably put it against another handheld that maybe more people have. Just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to use the RG35XXH. This is a very, very popular handheld out right now, and that's coming in at 183 grams, about 80 grams less than the GameMT. So not real light. I don't know that it's much smaller than the other handhelds they've put out because it is taller. This may be less pocketable than the E6s. I'm not really sure. Around here looking for handhelds, trying to do something to compare size, and really, if you have one of these scales, it's probably the closest thing to the right size. It's off by, you know, an inch or so, but other than that, it's pretty much the same size as the scale here. I don't know, maybe if I stack a couple, maybe if we put like 2 H's together. What do you think? Nope, not quite. About as tall as that. All right, let's move on. So spec-wise for this, we don't have a lot of information. They didn't give us a lot. I did see somewhere that's a 1.5 gigahertz processor. I'm going to go with that's an RK3326. We're actually going to pull this apart real quick just to find out if it's not performing correctly, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be. They don't list it anywhere. I haven't seen anybody open it up yet, so we'll take a look. So this does run on Linux, and as stated before, it does have a 5-inch 16:9 720 display. I think, again, it's an RK3326. Supposedly, this is a Hall sensor stick, even though it doesn't click. I mean, Hall sensors don't have to click, but I haven't seen one yet that doesn't click, so that would be kind of interesting to see if that actually is what that is. They call their D-pad circular, which I guess that's what it is. It's a circle. You do have your shoulder buttons in the back. They're not too bad. I mean, they're clicky. They don't have a lot of travel to them, like really any, so they could be beneficial in some instances. So the battery is kind of confusing. It's listed as having a 6,000 milliamp battery, rated at 3,500 milliamps. Literally says one on top of the other. I don't know what that means. I've never seen that before. Charging is 17 watt fast charging, so you can do fast charging on this, and you can do a full charge in 40 minutes using USB-C, and it is bidirectional, so you can use this as a charger as well to charge another device. When my Steam Deck runs out of juice, if I have this with me, which won't even fit in the case that I keep my current charger in, this could charge that, I guess, sort of. Maybe with 3,500 milliamp battery, or maybe 6,000. I'm not really sure. It does have 3 different play modes. You do have screencasting, which allow you to, obviously screencast, desktop, and then handheld. So the kickstand here is actually set up for when you want to do desktop type stuff. So you can do your desktop gaming. This would be really beneficial if this had maybe an Android operating system on it. You could even, forgive me for saying this, but do word processing on here outside of gaming if you really wanted to. A little harder on the Linux side. And it emulates up to PS1. So again, I don't know. That's kind of what makes me think it might be less than a 3326, like a 7051, but I can't remember how many gigahertz a 7051 is. So we're going to find out. We're going to see how it games. We might even find in the operating system that it will tell us what chipset is actually in here. So we'll go through a couple games. If we're unimpressed, we will open it up and take a look. It looks like the screws are going to be pretty accessible, so we'll take a look and just see what processor's in there. Now I kind of feel like I just want to do it right now. I haven't even turned this thing on yet. Like, maybe I should make sure it works first. yeah, we'll test a couple games, and then we'll go do that. So that sounds like a solid plan to me. And as I'm firing this up, one thing I was going to mention is that there isn't a charge light on here. I tried plugging it in just to see if it was charged. There's no indicator light. Oh, great. I didn't even open this thing up yet, and it's already not... What's happening here? Is it because I took GameMT's branded memory card out to look at it? This is, it's not doing anything. Well, I guess maybe... Oh, there. Okay. Well, maybe it was because I pulled that memory card out. I was kind of interested in that. There should be a light too here, like an LED light around the little RGB action here around the quote-unquote Hall effect thumbstick here. Okay, yeah, so you do get sound coming out of these vents on the side here too, which is kind of cool. It's pretty loud. Power off. Battery's dead. Of course it is. Well, we'll charge up the battery here real quick, and then we'll kind of see what it's all about. We didn't even get her fully booted up, so cool. So T and K, I believe, is start and select, I think. But I haven't been able to get it to pause. This game just does not let you pause. But you know what, honestly, this stupid round thing actually isn't the worst. I mean, I wouldn't want to use it all the time, but it kind of actually hurts your hand a little bit because it's sharp. The more that I think about it, but... Oh, my kickstand's out. No wonder why it's kind of weird on the back there. God, I don't know about this thing. It's different. So is M my menu? Okay, so this is going to be that traditional system that they've been putting in a lot of their handhelds here when they're running Android. And this Linux system is kind of set up like more of an arcade style system. So you can like save. Okay, cool. You can handle set. Oh yeah, so you can change your buttons there. Okay. Loading schedule. Oh, what order they load in. Don't have the option to go in and make changes on the back end to RetroArch or anything like that. Now, I'm hoping the community will get behind this. I think I know who this device is for, and we'll talk about that here as we go. Can I not quit? There we go. Okay, so, and I think you're going to have to use your L2 and R2 to get through here. I think that's how I got stuck before. Okay, yep, so I accidentally just, the list was open and I just hit the first, whatever. I was trying to get through here and it didn't go through. So we do have, obviously, our main Mega Drive, Super Famicom, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, PS1, all the CPSs, and Neo Geo. So we do have about, what, 12, 13 systems here? 2, 4, 6, 12 systems. Then we got a search function over here. And a collection, so if you're going to save stuff, you can make your own collection history. So that's the game that I was just playing. I literally accidentally clicked on it. So here is our factory options, which is going to be the same as the other two GameMT devices that I've tested previously. Volume's at level 1. How loud does this thing go? Wow. Okay, it doesn't need to be that loud. Okay, we're in English. We can do a factory reset. As far as ROMs go, so there's a second ROM put onto, that's what this means, that this is put onto the memory card. In the memory card folder. Up, up, down, down. Didn't get it. We can do a contra test real quick, though, since it's in here. I don't know why this was individually put on the memory card, but it was. So if you're going down and you can definitely go at angles, but no, this is not going to pass the contra test by any means. But that's okay. It doesn't need to. That's not really what this device is made for, I don't think. So I wish we could see some more options as far as things go in here, like under settings. There is kind of a way to hack around this in some of the other ones, so maybe we can do that here. The first E6, not the Plus, but the first one, you were able to do that. So it's weird that it says I have a dead battery. It's like half full. I plugged in a charger, and now I can use it as long as it's plugged in. So I don't know what's going on there either. Let's go through and test out a couple more games, and then we'll go from there. So I want to test out the joysticks here, see how that's working. I'm going to actually try out this D-pad on this too. This is what usually this is a game that I use to check out screen tearing. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here as well. So far not seeing any tearing on here, so that's good. We can't change filters or anything, so oops, I missed my turn. Huh, whatever. Let's try this with the D-pad and see how it goes. It's a little painful, but it's doable. Nope, maybe not. Oh boy. It's almost like one of those D-pads where you have to like constantly be hitting it so you can get the angle that you're looking for when you're trying to do something like turn or what we saw there in Contra. Kind of, unless you're really just going to go straight for it, you can kind of start questioning yourself a little bit whether or not you're making it or not. So then we go back. This joystick works pretty well though. So there's that. One thing I am noticing though is that every game so far, no matter what system I'm on, is stretched to fit this 16:9 screen, which is fine for some of these games, but it's not, oh my goodness, but it's not going to be for every system that's out there. It's just not going to make sense. So for like, well, let's try out a piece. Bloody Roars on here? No way. Let's try to really put this thing to a test. Tekken 3 sometimes will crash them. Okay, so we only got a couple options on here. We got Dune, we got Contra. I don't like that version of Contra, to be honest with you. We'll do Tekken 3, it's fine. Okay, so I wish I knew... I can usually feel it anyways. Oh yeah, so we're already running slow. An FPS counter would have been nice, though. I have a really hard time with joysticks on some fighting games, on some handhelds. I don't know, I could probably get used to it on this one. So the music is running in pace. Video's not running very well at all. I'm trying to make it kind of breaker, but it's not doing that part. But I'd say that this game is, what, 30 FPS? I'd say we're probably running around 20. Maybe even less. It's not choppy, which is what's interesting. So they have to have some kind of setup on here specifically for like the 6 or 8 games that they put on here. But that one kick there, that's how fast the whole game should be playing. So my guess would be that with the other games they put on here, they did the same thing, where they probably put some kind of filter on here for these specific games, and that's why we're kind of stuck to these games that are on here. I've never played Dune before, but we'll try Bloody Roar and see what happens there. It should be interesting because the load-up menus were a little choppy, but that doesn't mean the game's going to be. Now this one doesn't have music, and so now it's running better than we were getting off the other one, but it's still not quite right. So without the music, we're getting a better frame rate, but I'm guessing this is still a hacked core. In fact, I know it is, and it's still not 30 FPS. So I think we needed to get a little community TLC love behind this thing, and maybe I'll be able to run the hack around build on here that was made for the E6. I'll give that a shot, see if that works on here. If it does, I'll let you know. I'll keep the website updated too. I actually wrote an article yesterday while I was waiting for this to come, thinking this wouldn't be here for another week, so I was trying to space them out a little bit. Wrote an article about my fascination with this, and then I posted it yesterday morning, and then yesterday afternoon that showed up. So it was kind of a timing thing, I guess. Again, I wasn't expecting to come so fast. I think it came in like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days from China. So that's, I mean, for not having any kind of expedited shipping or anything like that, that's pretty incredible. That has been one thing with the GameMT devices. They have all come fairly quick. The USPS app for America is never updated fast enough. Like they showed received, and it was received a couple states away, so I was expecting it, you know, to go through customs, everything else, and so that usually takes about 3 days, and then it shows up, and boom, it was just at my door. So I thought it was actually stuck in customs, and it was at my house. But I will, as I uncover more things and learn more things about this, I will update retrospect. I already started kind of a page for this, not a page, but we've already got a couple articles out about this, and then that'll all morph into a page specifically about, you know, how to set them up and do all your other stuff on them. So take a look out for that. As I find out more about this and as we do more, I will do some future videos about this handheld. And so what I really wanted to talk about is, who is this handheld for? Oh, we're going to open it. We're going to open it first. Yeah, let's do that. Let's open it first. And then we'll close out. Just because it'll match, I've got my unicorn doobie plate for the screws to go into. So we'll put those in here. Or actually, maybe we'll put those on here because we'll just use the magnet side. Perfect. All right. And let's turn this bad boy off. So there isn't going to be a menu off option, I don't think, but we're going to find out just to make sure. Like most of them, you would hit start. No, or menu. Okay, so there isn't going to be that option, so we're going to have to hold the power button until it just blink. I'm guessing it's just going to blink off. This power button does not work very well. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've had a hard time starting it up both times now, and it's not doing anything. Again. There we go. Yeah, so it's a tricky power button. I mean, it was in all the way. So let's take a look and see what's inside this thing. I want to know what processor's in here. So if nothing else, it might be good for a thumbnail, right? And now that we got to play with it a little bit, we don't have to worry about breaking it because we already got to play with it. But I'd like to play with it some more, so hopefully we don't really actually do any damage. But all right, let's take a look and see what we got here. I wonder if there's more than just these 4 screws. Oh, that one's in there. Oh man, that one's way in there, isn't it? Good thing I got the TMR Hall effect sticks, because that's where I got the screwdriver from. Did I grab the right one? Yeah, it's too small, isn't it? The Switch uses tiny little screws compared to this. Okay, one more try. Okay, let's see if I got a pick over here. Oh, this is gonna be hard to pick without shoulders, huh? Didn't even think about that. I might have to grab a metal one. I don't really want to scratch it. Oh, never mind, that pushed in there pretty well, actually. Oh, yeah, she's coming right apart. I like it. I haven't even taken the screws out yet. Maybe I should do that. There's 2 of them. The other 2 are still in there. Cool. Alright, well, hopefully they unscrewed. I swear it's unscrewed. I don't know what's happening here. I just lost my little pick. Oh, here it is. It's right in front of my face. I'm touching it. I can't find it. Alright, that's what she said. What? What? Okay, that one just doesn't want to come unscrewed. You can't really tell if it's doing anything because you can't see it, but it feels like it's coming unscrewed. Yeah, it's moving. Is it just spinning in here? Man, would that suck with a screw down in a hole like this? You'd never get it out. Let's try this out. Let's try it out one more time. I think we got it. Maybe. We'll find out. Alright, and around the corner we go, and nope. Okay, we'll put a little pressure on it. Maybe that'll help. What the hell? I don't know why it's not coming out. There we go, maybe. Oh. Yep, that thing was really in there. Alright, so we're probably going to have something on the hook here. Yep, sure are. Alright, so we got, oh yeah, some speakers. Yep, and then let's unhook that battery. Oh yeah, now we can find out what size battery is actually in here. Sweet! Yeah, see, we did this whole thing just for that. We didn't, but, I mean, that's at least a bonus we're going to get out of this. Tweezers. Oh, come on. Can't be that hard. I just didn't want to pull on the wires. There we go. Or there's a spot for a rumble motor in here. That'd be pretty dope. Oh, hey, here came that screw that didn't want to come out. Where's the other one? Is it still... Well, now I don't know what's going on. I got extra screws. Thank goodness. Thank goodness I have all kinds of screws around here. Alright. So, I don't know what... Oh, there's the other one. I don't know where to go with this, but... Okay, so battery first. So it is a 5,000 milliamp battery, and it's 18.5 watt hours. Okay, at 3.7 volts. None of that is what's on their information. So we do know what that is now. So that's good to know. So again, it's 5,000 milliamps, 3.7 volts, 18.5 watt hour battery. So you could run your Steam Deck for like 3.5 minutes off this thing. It'd be great. Well, maybe Rogue Ally. Steam Deck, you might get 4.5 minutes. Okay. So put that aside. Let's take a look at this chipset here now. And if it's a rock chip, you will know right away. And it's not. And I have no idea what processor this is. This is the same chip that we saw. It wasn't their handheld, but it was another company's handheld, and they filed it off. And I don't remember what it actually is. See how close I can get without getting too fuzzy. Not that close. Let's try it this way. I don't remember what we found out about this chip last time, because mine came and it was sanded off, but Javi over at Hobby Retro, his was not sanded off. Doesn't tell us a whole lot back here. I'll do some more digging in here. This is really easy to open up. I'll go through this whole PCB and see if there's like anywhere we can hook up, you know, rumble motors and things like that, because that'd be kind of cool. If we could get a little bit extra out of this on top of, oh, there's power over here too. It's, yeah, we could probably figure something out on top of everything else while we're waiting for maybe hopefully somebody figure out some custom firmware for this. Hopefully. So we'll see what comes out for it. This is really kind of an interesting and unique little device there after what we just found out. So if you have anything else for me to check out on, do me a favor, just leave it down in the comment section down below, and I will take a look at it in my follow-up video. This really is just a first look right now. Oh, good, power's off. This is really just a first look right now, just so I kind of see what it's all about. We answered a few questions that we didn't have answers to before. Still don't know what that chipset is, but we can figure that out. We have the internet, so we'll figure that out. I know the question's going to be, who is this handheld for? And I'm pretty sure I've narrowed this one down, because I bought into it, because I wanted to try this thing out. Now, obviously, they used unique D-pads. I actually kind of wish they would have used that same D-pad on here. Not here nor there. But anybody who's been in this long enough knows that there's this crazy market for handhelds overseas, specifically in Asia, and then pinned it down on China if you want to. But there is a ton of different quirky little handhelds. You can pretty much get anything that matches anything that any person would want. Kind of like what Ambernick's been trying to do with this H700 series SOC, and coming out with 7 different handhelds with the same internals but a different external. They do the same thing over there. A lot of times they're actually made out of like retirement people's cell phones, just like some old touchscreen cell phones and stuff like that they're recycling. So instead of creating e-waste, they just create more e-waste by, you know, creating different systems. But some of those phones are actually, you can take them out of one, put them in another, so you're just buying like this outside shell, right? And then you just take and put the phone in there. And that would be the screen and the processor and everything else, and then it's pretty much just a gamepad. But they go in there in such a way that it's not easy to get them in and out, so it's not like you keep using the phone as a phone, probably. I think that's who this device is for. I can't think of anybody else who might like want this. In its current state, anyways. Now that could change. You'd have to do a lot of work to convince me that this D-pad's worth it. or decircle or whatever. But it could change with some software that this could become a better device for maybe a broader perspective of people. This is not a good device for somebody just getting into this unless, well, maybe it is. Okay, so there's kind of two sides to this. If you don't want to do any kind of customization at all, and you just want to play what game on it, perfect, because this isn't going to allow you to do any kind of customization. Right now, the way it sits, everything's already set up for you. You don't have to worry about making any mistakes. You can't really screw anything up. Is it going to look good? Not really. Is it going to perform well? No, not really either. You know, so, but if you just want to pick up and play something and you don't care about how the screen looks, about how the graphics look, about the performance, whether or not you can use retro achievements, things like that, sure, that's fine. But who I think this is really for is, again, the collectors, the people that have been in this game a long time, that see all the cool devices that are overseas and never really get a chance to get them. We've gotten so few of those that this, I think, is kind of the answer to that, and I commend GameMT for doing that. I don't commend them for not kind of making this work the way that I think it should work. I don't think it would have taken much more, and I know they sat on this for a while, so they were probably itching to get it out. But for one, this D-pad, man, like, we all kind of just looked past this weird D-pad you put on the E6, and we kind of figured it out. Nobody's gonna get used to this, and it's got sharp edges. This is terrible, and it's not really leaving a lot of opportunity to take it out and put something else in. Maybe somebody will figure that out. I don't know. I don't think anybody's gonna go that far with this device because it's not very expensive. But if this is something that interests you, and you are somebody like me who gets kind of intrigued by things like this, or if you're that person that's out there, that's a developer that's like, I can make that thing run better, by all means. I threw a link down on my thingamabob. You can go check it out, and it'll go right to a page for you, so you can get more information. Hopefully it'll be updated at some point. Somebody will update it. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's ever gonna do that. But yeah, thanks for coming along this little roller coaster with me. I'm gonna play with this some more today after I apparently charged the battery. And that's all I got for today. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Share this video with your friends because sharing helps grow the channel. And we all like to help each other around here because we're friends. So we all like to grow together. So that would be fantastic if you could get this out there and a little word of mouth. Also, there is a couple of videos here for you at the end that, you know, Google and YouTube, you know, they decided you're going to like these videos. So you should check out one of those videos and then just keep checking them out in each one of the videos and help out the watch time. And you know, even if you've seen the video before, you really do want to watch it again because you probably missed something and that's just what it is. But anyways, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.